I built this entire day to escape Switzerland's 90-degree heat. Then I walked straight into the hottest hike of the trip. No shade, open sun, and Reichenbach Falls was still ahead of me. Somewhere along the way, my brilliant plan to deal with the heat wave had gone completely wrong. But let's go back. That mistake came a few days later. The first clue to beating this heat wave actually came from another hike. My first try started at Mannlichen. I was staying in Mürren, and that morning I got up early and hiked almost 5 miles toward Kleine Scheidegg. Beautiful trail, but by the time I finished, the temperature was climbing fast. Normally, I might have looked for another trail. Not that afternoon. On the way back toward Mürren, I stopped at Trümmelbach Falls, above Lauterbrunnen. Outside, the valley was baking. Inside was something completely different. You don't just walk up to this waterfall. You walk inside the mountain and actually ride a funicular up. First, you hear the water. Then it gets louder. Dark tunnels and stairways cut into the rock. And all this glacial water is forcing its way through spaces that barely look big enough to hold it. Cold rock, water spray, and darkness. For the first time all week, the heat didn't matter. And that's when I thought, maybe I didn't have to stop hiking. Maybe I just had to split the day in half. Morning hike, cool afternoon adventure. One try, one win. A few days later, I thought I had the formula figured out. I didn't. This time, I built the entire day around beating the heat. First stop, Aare Gorge. At first, it was perfect. The walkways bolted right into the rock. Walls close in around you, river rushing below, shade, water, cool air. Exactly what I needed. I kept walking deeper into the gorge thinking, I've got this figured out. Then I came back out into the sun, and now we are back to where this video started. The next stop was Reichenbach Falls, and I decided to walk there. That was a mistake. The shade disappeared, it was over 90 degrees, and the walk was over a mile. Exactly what this entire day was supposed to avoid. I'd built an entire day around escaping the heat, and somehow put a hot hike right in the middle of it. By the time I reached Reichenbach, I was done with the sun. Then came the funicular ride up. The water drops through this enormous canyon, but I'd learned something. A cool destination doesn't help much if getting there cooks you first. So I changed the plan again. 2 tries, 1 win, 1 very bad idea. They say the third time is the charm. 2 days later, I finally did. I started early at Harder Kulm. Big views over Interlaken and the lakes. Then about 3 miles of hiking while the morning was still manageable. And this time, when the temperature started climbing, I got off the mountain. No afternoon hike through the open sun. I headed to St. Beatus Caves. Even from outside, this place looked ridiculous. Waterfalls pouring down the cliff. Stone buildings built into the mountain. Then I stepped through the entrance, and the heat wave disappeared. Cool air, dark tunnels, underground water. Rock chambers disappearing deeper into the mountain. And according to legend, a dragon once lived here. I didn't find the dragon, but if he had air conditioning, I might have moved in with him. By then, I'd finally learned how to travel through a Swiss heat wave. I didn't stop hiking. I stopped pretending I had to follow the original plan exactly. Mountains in the morning, out of the sun by lunch. Trümmelbach Falls gave me the idea. Aare Gorge and Reichenbach Falls showed me exactly what not to do, and St. Beatus Caves gave me the version that finally worked. I spent months planning this trip, but Switzerland kept reminding me. A good plan tells you where you want to go. A great trip sometimes depends on knowing when to change it. Many of the rainy day adventures from part 2 of our Switzerland planning series also became perfect ways to beat the heat. You can watch that video here. If you were in Europe during the heat wave, tell us what you did to beat the heat in the comments below. And for our 3 favorite Swiss hikes, click this video. You won't want to miss those.